Good evening. My name is Quentin McDowell, and I am presenting on school community relations for Mercersburg Academy. This is a project for Dana Chapin and myself for our school community relations class at George Washington University. Tonight I am presenting to a group of local schools about how to develop a positive school community relations plan. Unfortunately, the principal, or in our case, head of school, was unable to make this meeting, so I'm speaking on his behalf. School community relations begins with a talk about who we are and give you some context for the school from which we come. Mercersburg Academy is a co-educational boarding school for students in grades 9 through 12, and it is located in south central Pennsylvania in a small town called Mercersburg. The school profile is unique in that we're an independent school. We have students coming from 33 different states from the United States, as well as 35 different countries. About 50% of our population is male and the other 50% female, and about 85% of our population are actually boarding school students, meaning that they live on campus. 51% are from the Mid-Atlantic, and about 27% come from places outside the Mid-Atlantic. We have a very well-developed campus. It's 300 acres with 30 school buildings, 10 playing fields, 9 residence halls, and the tuition to come to Mercersburg, believe it or not, is right around $47,000 a year for boarders and about $36,000, $37,000 for day students. Now the town is unique in that it's very small. We're located in a rural area. The total population of just over 1,500. The average household age is around 38. The average household income is about $43,000, which you'll have to note is a good bit less than our residential tuition. So that's something to keep in mind when we're talking tonight. The average house value is $150,000. It's a predominantly white area. Only about 20% of our population in this local town has a bachelor's degree or higher. And there's a very low unemployment rate, although a very small town. So why have a school community relations plan? Schools, we believe, are obligated to cultivate a positive relationship with their communities. And a positive community relations plan leads to positive school image, and we all want to be well perceived in our communities. School resources, in particular at an independent school, are very unique, and those should be shared with others. Community members are also an excellent source for enriching the student experience and for making this learning experience much greater, much more relevant. Schools should also be committed to the growth and development of education, whether it's in their own school walls or it's in the local community. It's something we're all in this together. And interdependence exists between a school and its community, and especially in a small town in which economics and sociology and everything are all intertwined. It's very important that we have a positive relationship. So when we talk about communities, in Mercersburg, I think you can talk about the local community, but I would be remiss if we all didn't talk about our internal communities. Teaching faculty, administrative staff, or dining hall staff, or buildings and grounds, students, business office, spouses and families. We all live here. And externally, we talk about parents and alumni, prospective families, local businesses, local community members, former faculty and staffs, peer institutions, feeder schools, a lot of younger schools that feed Mercersburg's population, consultants and vendors, all these different things. So when you're developing a communications plan and a relations plan, you really need to consider who are your audiences, who are you, who do you have a relationship with. So some things I want to impart on you tonight is what we want you to consider when making a school community relations plan, especially for those of you who are new and emerging school leaders. Always look beyond the school walls. What's going on outside your school bubble? Always keep parents, your most important resource, informed and keep them involved. Be willing to share your resources, especially those of you who have really unique resources. Always consider, how are we best serving others? Keeping students at the center of that thinking, but also finding ways to serve others. Accept criticism. This is hard to do sometimes. Do it with an open mind, and also be accountable for your actions, for your words, for all of that. Every negative community relations incident can result in a positive response. But they always look for ways, the silver lining of a school community relations incident. An external relations plan is only effective if internal relations are strong. So take care of the inside, make sure that everybody's on board, get lots of buy-in, and then you'll have a much better, stronger external relationship. Effective school leaders are effective communicators. You must be able to effectively communicate in order to get anything done. So internal relations. I want to give you some examples of what's worked for us. Faculty meetings, social gatherings. And I emphasize this very much. All employees, involve everyone in these things. Sometimes you need just to meet with faculty, sometimes just with staff. Some newsletters go out to one or the other. But when you can, bring them all together. Professional development opportunities for all employees. Help your employees get more education, become better at their jobs. That's from the janitorial staff all the way up to the teaching faculty. Well-developed communication systems. We use a very developed email system with lots of different families and communities on each of these email in the email system that allows people to understand what's going on, who's communicating with who, and where to find information. And then the nature of boarding school environment has helped us. We all live here, we're all interconnected in that way. And actually, that's one of the things that doesn't work for us, is that you get a lot of the lunchroom gossip, you get a lot of the evening talk, and you can really, it's difficult sometimes to manage living, working, eating, playing with people 24/7, and that's something we really, and most boarding schools also struggle with. We've also struggled when making decisions in small groups. It's best, we've found, to include everyone. If you get all the stakeholders in the room, they're going to feel better about things, they'll take more ownership over decisions. Limited time. This is something we all probably struggle with, is finding time. We have had a problem at Mercersburg, in particular with developing strong faculty and staff relationships. There seems to be a divide there, and it's something we've worked hard on and continue to work on. And then sometimes we have some problems with leadership support and recruitment and retention. Trying to get a community that's reflective of the outside world, or get people to stay here and incentivize them a bit more. External relations, things that have worked for us, inviting community members into our classrooms, onto campus for events, getting them to use school facilities, whether it's the local public school or it's for events or chapel or whatever it is, getting them here and doing it in a way that's easy, not painful for them. Our website, social networking, our newsletters, magazines, newspapers. We've hired a PR firm to publicize the school better. And then community service efforts always go a long way, being involved in the day-to-day of the community. And serving on school boards, being members of the Chamber of Commerce, doing some of those things where we're actually using our position in the community to make some real change. What's not worked for us is that we can be a bubble. It's very hard sometimes to be in this boarding school bubble, and we don't always look outside our own school walls. And because we're a boarding school, sometimes we get pinned as being serving a very elite community. And that's unfair, but it's a perception, and overcoming those perceptions is difficult. Tensions also exist sometimes between the community and the school, whether it be between local kids in the community and our students about, again, those perceptions. Maybe it's about the utility company and the school's usage. We do have some community tension. A big problem is that a lot of our faculty on campus don't pay property tax, yet they send their kids to school. That causes a lot of, I wouldn't say anger, but it can cause some discomfort or it makes some people upset in the community. And then sometimes, as you can see by local incomes, we're not very accessible to a lot of our local students without significant financial aid. So what information is most important to us is what students care about, what parents care about, what alumni care about, what the local community cares about, and what our prospective families care about. We have to consider, what are the things that they care about? Those things then are things we must care about. If it's important to them, it's important to us. We also believe in staying connected. Community relations are a fluid, ongoing plan. You cannot just say, here it is, it's published, and off it goes. You've got to find a way to develop a fluid document that is always changing and being updated and being modified. This is something that must be attended to all the time. The multiple communities that the school serves, in particular the local community, can offer the most valuable opportunities for learning, and as well as support. When you really need something, it's great to be able to draw on your community. So if you want to learn more, please come and see me, visit our website, or you can email me or call me with any questions. Thanks for your time.